The second character of the JoJo All-Star Battle R Season Pass 2 is scheduled to release in the fall of this year. So today I'm going to be taking a look at all the characters from Diamond is Unbreakable that I consider to have a decent shot at claiming that coveted slot. But before we do that, let me quickly rattle off a list of all the Part 4 characters that I think have either a relatively small chance of getting in or no chance at all. We have Angelo, Kobayashi, Hazamada, Tonio, Part 4 Joseph, Shizuka, Bug Eaten and Not Bug Eaten, Raimi, Aya, Yoshihiro, Ken, Kanadaichi, and Kinoto. While I do think that everyone I just listed probably won't make the cut, if I had to pick an honorable mention from that list that I think is the fourth most likely to get in, it would definitely be Angelo. He's not the most requested character or anything, but I hear his name tossed around a few times, and his water-based moveset could make for some really creative attacks. But with that out of the way, let's move on to the top 3, starting with who I believe to be the third most likely character for this slot, and it's Teranosuke Miyamoto, the Enigma Boy himself. At first, you might think that he can't really do much with his ability besides just turn people into paper, but he can also hide a wide assortment of objects in the paper, like scorpions, a car, and of course the giant shredder, so it'd be cool to see him use all these things in a fighting game. He may be a one-off villain, but he was able to defeat both Koichi and Josuke, and he's clearly stuck with a lot of people, so he's a pretty solid pick for the DLC. But you know who's cooler than a stand user who can turn people into paper? Someone who will gladly turn into paper, and that's where my number 2 pick, Yuya Fungami, comes into play. He has potential for a very interesting moveset that revolves around stealing the opponent's health by sticking the footprints of Highway Star to them. Plus, unlike Teranosuke, he was actually in 2 different fights, so that helps his chances. All in all, he's one of the most important Part 4 characters to not be playable yet, and he has a lot of fan demand, which is why I think he's incredibly likely. In fact, I'd even go as far as to say that he's almost interchangeable with who I have placed at number 1, but in the end, the other character was the one I deemed to be just a tiny smidge more likely. So it's time to talk about Mikitaka. Is he a stand user? Is he an alien? Who knows? But what I do know is that he very well could be the most likely Part 4 character to join Season Pass 2. His ability, Earth, Wind, and Fire lets him turn into almost anything, so his moveset potential is through the roof. Personally, I always like to envision Mikitaka just turning into a random object midway through a combo, kind of like Double from Skullgirls. I think that would be pretty funny. He has a lot of fan demand as well, and has 2 arcs worth of content to pull from, similarly to Yuya, which is a lot of the reason why I consider the 2 to be so close in terms of likelihood. At the risk of repeating myself, I can very much see it going either way with those 2 as far as the slot is concerned. And there you have it, those are the Diamond is Unbreakable characters that I think are most likely for Season Pass 2. If you agree with me or think I'm completely wrong, be sure to let me know in the comments below. If you liked what you saw, then please consider hitting the thumbs up button, and if you want to see more like this in the future, then you can ensure that you will by subscribing. But with that, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.